mistakes. Got a lot to learn, think you better know the game. Yeah, y'all don't let the match. Finally got the belt, now I think I'll give it back. At 24/7 grind, put me on the map. I think you probably should try to study how I move, that's a fact. Yeah, y'all don't let the match. I got the belt, and I ain't gon' give it back. Yeah, y'all let the match. I got the belt, and I ain't gon' give it back. Yeah, I'll make it play. And I can do this all day. You know I'ma make it play. Yeah, I'll make it play. And I can do this all day. You know I'ma make it play. Bank. Yeah, they call me Showtime, y'all know who to thank. Got the pressure on, gotta do this real big, no thing. I'ma get the dub, what do y'all think? Yeah, I'll make it plays. Y'all know where to find me, you be looking center stage. 24/7, we ain't never taking breaks. Got a lot to learn, think you better know the game. Cause I've been making plays. Yeah, I'll make it play. And I can do this all day, you know I'ma make it play. Yeah, I'll make it play. And I can do this all day, you know I'ma make it play. Cause I've been making plays. Better know the game. Cause I've been making plays.
Good afternoon, folks. Thank you for tuning in to Cine TV for game number 2 of the 2025-2026 Pittsburgh Penguins Elite season. As earlier this afternoon, your 2015 Pittsburgh Penguins Elite Nenevisa squad was victorious over the team they are playing host to yet again today. And that is the Oakland Junior Grizzlies from the Detroit metro area. So the Pens had a 5-1 victory. Earlier today, a 2-goal effort from Connor Wilson and Bingham Green, and Brady Fritchie in his Penguins Elite debut game added another tally as well to make the final score 5-1, bringing the Pens Elite 1-0 early in the campaign. And we have game number 2 now getting set to start. Change in net as Luka Thompson is his turn to make his debut, this time between the pipes for the Pens Elite squad. As we get set here for the puck drop, 15 minutes is on the clock. As the PPE boys gather around the net here as pucks are being cleaned up, they're going to head to the bench for some final instructions from Coach Toby Nenevisa. Back with this squad yet again, as is Dustin Gaworski and Ian Ferguson and Cliff Loya rounding out the assistant coaching staff for the squad. As number 74, Easton Borman, goes back with one little well-wish tap there for netminder number 33, Luka Thompson. As another new teammate, Brooks Skaworski, going back to give him a little love tap as well. Joined by his decor now of Fritchie and Nico Stark. And starting at center today, number 93, Riker Ferguson. He's going for a skate here to loosen up as final preparations are underway. Puck's handed over to the officials. And we're just about set for game number 2 between the Oakland Junior Grizzlies and your 2015 Pittsburgh Penguins Elite. Puck is dropped and we're underway here as the puck's going to be thrown back to the right D-man. That's Brady Fritchie wearing number 9. As it's going to be brought into the offensive zone, now controlled by number 93, Riker Ferguson. He's going to stop up behind the net, tries a wrap move. Picked up, though, by teammate Brooks Gaworski. Gets it right back to Ferguson. Ferguson's going to curl around, loses an edge as Gaworski's over to help out. Now comes to Easton Borman. Falls off of his stick. Stark's going to pick it up, moves it over. Nice pass to Brady Fritchie. Long shot, almost deflected in there. As it's going to be brought back to center now by the Junior Grizzlies. And they're going to attempt to dump this back into the zone, but going to be tested by Nico Stark. Goes behind goaltender Thompson. Picked up by Connor Wilson. Had 2 goals earlier in the afternoon in game number 1. As it's going to be dumped right back deep behind Thompson. Picked up by number 9, Brady Fritchie. Was looking for his deep pair. Partner Nico Stark is going to try and hustle over to get to this puck. Goes off the backhand of Fritchie. As he controls this behind the net. Gets it out of danger. Up to the right winger, Cole Davis. As the Pens are going to change their deep pairing behind the play. Welch and Loya hop on. Shot taken, glove down by the netminder. It's in his pads, covered up by netminder number 34. And in net is Nathan Zahler for the Oakland Junior Grizzlies. Number 39 was in there earlier this afternoon. Offensive zone faceoff. It's going to be won by the Penguins. Bingham Green has it on stick, but he's stumbling down, still trying to possess that puck as Mason Fritchie's going to come over and get to that puck. Riker Ferguson's going to tap this along and down the wall as he's going to be brought down. Goes under the stick of Noah Welch as Grant Loy is going to go back for this puck. As Loy is going to reverse this back to Noah Welch. Welch is going to try and move this up to Fritchie. Turns the puck over. Too soft of a pass there by Welch. As the Pens are getting hemmed into the zone. As 98 is going to bring it around everybody. He goes off the equipment of Welch. Welch is going to be hooked up there. As Connor Wilson now controls this on the half wall. Brady Fritchie gets this puck. He gets his head up. He's going to skate. As it's off the backhand up to Borman. And into the offensive zone. Connor Wilson's going to apply some pressure. 66 going to bring this in. 2-on-1 develops, but ahead of the play was number 88. And we have yet another offsides call. We had about 24 of them earlier today. As Connor Wilson stepping in, flanked by Borman and Gaworski on the backside. Fritchie and then Avisa. Borman tries to carry this in, unable to do so. It's going to be sent D to D from then Avisa over to Brady Fritchie. Fritchie's going to enter the zone with speed. He still possesses the puck. Attempts to move it over into the slot. The Gaworski doesn't get through, though. Fritchie's able to get back to that puck and recover as Welch is going to come over and get to this puck. As he is going to use some skating to evade and get this up to Connor Wilson. Wilson now pushes this further. The Pens have numbers here as Borman enters the zone. Easton Borman cashes in. He used his patience and he puts it behind netminder number 34, and that's going to give the Pens a 1-0 lead. 11:35 to go in the first period. Easton Borman, his first of the year, gets on the score sheet here and gives the Penguins an early 1-0 lead in game number 2 of the season. As number 9's now going to bring it in. He's going to try and get it behind everybody. Welch is going to throw this behind the net. As it goes to his D partner, that's Nico Stark. As the Pens have it in the offensive zone. As Nico Stark now picks it up. Moves it up to number 4, Mason Fritchie. Tries to work it through the neutral zone. Squirts back to the stick of Grant Loya. Pens work to get back on side. Loya's going to carry this in. Just ahead of the play was a Penguin skate. So offsides is the call. 10:31. Another neutral zone faceoff. As Wilson flanked by Green and Fritchie on the backside, Ninevisa and Loya. Puck enters the Pens offensive zone as the Grizzlies are going to retreat behind their own net. Pressured, though, by Bingham Green. And brought back to center here as 13 for the Grizzlies. Has it knocked off of his stick by Wilson. Loya is being pressured now by 13. He's able to skate away. Headman pass attempt. It's going to go all the way down the ice for an icing call. Pens are going to change up their personnel on the ice. 10:03 to go in the first period. As Riker Ferguson, number 93, centerman, steps in for the draw, flanked by Gaworski and Borman backside, Brady Fritchie, and number 7, Nico Stark on the left side. Fritchie's going to pressure as it's in a dangerous area right now. Squirts just wide of the net. Thompson had to be alert there. Pens on the scoreboard have a 4-0 shot total, but that was a dangerous opportunity there. Thompson had to be alert. Still possessing the puck as Oakland can't get the shot through. It hits off the inner thigh of Riker Ferguson, who's laboring now. He felt that one. And he's going to go to the bench here as the puck's going to go all the way down the ice. It's going to be ruled as being tipped, though. So no icing. Brooks Gaworski runs into a man. As it squirts out to Gaworski now again. And it's picked up by the junior Grizzlies, who are content to throw this back to center. As Loya gets the puck transitioned up to number 45, Brooks Gaworski. Now possessing it is Borman. Borman's looking for an option. He's dancing along the wall. He's 1-on-2, though. As the Grizzlies are going to come out, they're going to throw it up the wall. As it's thrown back into the Pens offensive zone, and the Grizzlies are going to retreat back as the Pens are changing their forward group now. 91's going to try Loya, gets around him. He's going to squirt free as 91's going to try and work around Welch, and it goes wide of the net. As Wilson tries to move this up to Blake Paris. And comes to the stick of number 43, Grant Loya. Got numbers, potentially. Loya's going to lead this rush now, coming down the left-hand wall. Offsides, though, is number 8, Connor Wilson. So another neutral zone faceoff. 8:14 to go in the first period. On to take this draw is number 93. That's Riker Ferguson with Blake Paris and Colt Davis on the backside. Ninevisa and Fritchie. 1-0 the score if you're joining us a little bit late on a goal by number 74, Easton Borman. Grizzlies trying to split the defense there. They had 59 with a step. Pass just goes out of his reach. He's going to work it back to the point man. Deflects off a 59 stick over to get this puck is Brady Fritchie. He hustles over, gets it to Blake Paris. Loses control, though, as Ferguson runs into 59. And he works it back. It's going to come to the point man, number 12. 12 moves into dangerous territory as Colt Davis applied some pressure. He may have a chance here. It's going to be 1-on-1. Colt Davis is going to try to work around number 12. Unable to do so. Good defensive play there by 12 as the Pens change behind the play. As Connor Wilson now brings it back in. Loses control of the puck as the Oakland Grizzlies now make a change. Good play there by Mason Fritchie to get that puck turned over and get control back in the offensive zone. As Welch gets a stick here aggressively. As long shot taken, sticked away. First save for Penn's Elite as it comes dangerously in front. Welch is going to stick this away. Bingham Green is going to work this up to Connor Wilson. Pens again have numbers as Connor Wilson's going to enter the offensive zone. He delays, works it across. Just wide of the net as Fritchie tried to deflect that home. Comes high to Nico Stark. As Grant Loy now steps onto the ice, Wilson still controls this puck. He's working around everybody. Tries a little floater as Nenavisa, freshly on, is going to help contest with Loya. Head of steam comes number 98, tries a delay move around Loya. Loya shuts that down, and Wilson moves it right back up to Bingham. Pens are back on the attack as Fritchie is going to be separated temporarily. He finds that puck yet again. Fritchie's looking. Loses the puck as it now finds the stick of number 86 for the junior Grizzlies. Correction, 66. And squirts into the Pens D zone. Pressure applied by Loya, runs into his man, and it's not Loya that finds his wallet. On the ground as Ferguson works around the official. Backhanded pass. Got through everybody to Borman. Pens just rolling their lines right now, staying fresh as a 6-1 shot advantage for the 2015 Pittsburgh Penguins Elite. Grizzlies tried to get this out of the zone. Good stick there by Brooks Gaworski to keep the pressure on. 5:24 now to go in the first period. Brady Fritchie, he walks down the wall from his D position. He's got a couple guys try to work it to Borman just over Easton's stick as Wilson's going to be knocked against the wall. Borman now hits the ice as the junior Grizzlies work it back into the Pens D zone. Controlled, though, nicely by Brady Fritchie. Fritchie tried to headman this up to Gaworski. Number 8 jumped that pass. It's in off the right pad of Luka Thompson. As number 91, Elsie's run into by the Pens 74, Borman. Point shot by 4 off the left shoulder of number 9, Brady Fritchie. Definitely more of a flow in this game than game number 1. Connor Wilson's going to try and keep it going. He walks down. Shot taken. Left pad save. Rebound now on the stick of Borman. Borman's behind the net. He's looking for an option. He's going to try and work this back to Lloyd. Doesn't get that far as it's going to all the way back down the ice as Noah Welch is going to race back. He's got some pressure here as he's got a man coming, number 55. And he's going to throw it up to out of the zone as Davis runs into man 13. Neutral zone faceoff. Ferguson's on with Harris and Davis on the backside. Welch and Loya. As Ferguson takes it now. He's going to try and work this through to Davis. Does. Left pad say still loose in the crease. Welch has it. Shot taken. Good save there by the netminder as it's going to be brought back in the D zone. Loya's hooked up. And the Pens are going to have their first power play of the game. They're trying to get Luka out of the net. As the Pens are going to hop an extra man over the boards. As Blake Parrish is going to bring it back into the offensive zone. He's hooked up. But it looks like we're just going to have one call here as the turkey is on the table. As number 91 goes to the box. Got the Law and Order music playing here. And the Penguins are going to go on their first power play of the game. 3:32 to go. 91 goes into the box for a minute 30. 9-2 the shot totals. Wilson on to take the draw. Green long shot, left pad save. As Connor Wilson now retrieves this puck, thinks about going to the point man. Fritchie does. Fritchie works it all the way across the ice to Nenavisa. Nenavisa works it down the wall, dumps it behind the net where Bingham Green's going to go look for this puck. Off the stick of Nenavisa. Nenavisa dumps it to the far wall to Connor Wilson. Fritchie backhands it right back down the wall. Wilson looks for this. Throws it in the slot. Nobody home, though. As the Grizzlies try and work it out of the zone. Good stick by Wilson. Fritchie's going to backhand it right back down to Mason Fritchie. As it goes over the glove of his brother, number 9, Brady Fritchie. Nenavisa is going to work this up to Mason Fritchie. Evades everybody as retreating back into their zone are the Grizzlies. Freshly on here is Borman. Borman moves it over to Wilson. Wilson now has it. He's looking for an option. He's going to go to Welch. Welch fans on the puck. Still has it. Try to settle that down. As Borman now has it, he's looking for an option. He's going to go to the point man. That's Stark. Long shot, glove down there by the Junior Grizzlies. 6 seconds to go on the penalty. Foot race ensues. And it's going to be an icing call as 88 goes back for that puck. But could not get there before it crosses the line. 2:01 to go. Penn's unable to cash in on the first power play of the game. Don't think they were able to register a shot either. 1-0 the score if you're just joining us on an Easton Borman first period goal. Borman's on again here with Ferguson and Gaworski. And on the backside, number 7, Nico Stark, and number 14, Noah Welch. Is going to squirt to the stick of Welch. It's going to turn into a breakaway here. Shot, goal. Gaworski tried to chip back to Welch. Welch was stationary. Turned into a breakaway the other way. And 1-1's the score. It's brought right back into the offensive zone. Connor Wilson gets that goal back. Just takes a few seconds for Wilson to cash in with 1:41 to go. 2-1 the score. Wilson's 3rd of the year. Connor Wilson gets the goal. And he steps right back in for the draw, flanked by Paris and Davis on the backside, Nenavisa and Loya. Wilson's looking for more here as he takes the feed. Not sure if that puck got through, but Wilson still has the puck. Tries to dance around the netminder, goes behind the net, throws it back to the point. That's CJ Nenavisa. Nenavisa curls around. He holds on to that puck as it's thrown across to Loya. Loya takes a long shot, stick save behind the net now as it deflects in front of the net, but it's cleared out by number 66 for the Junior Grizzlies. Nenavisa's run into, he loses his stick right in front of the congested area in front of the Penguins bench. Colt Davis is going to get it out of there, throws it to Loya. Loya's got Fritchie going with him. Fritchie tries to stay onside, just can't do it. As there's 45.8 to go. In the first frame. Pens with the 2-0 lead, or correction, 2-1 lead. As the Grizzlies go D to D, they're going to throw it all the way up the ice. Goes over the stick of Grizzlies number 59 and back for an icing call here as a Grizzlies player crashes into the end boards. Number 13. Penn's getting set up for a face-off play. Bingham Green's going to take the draw. Fergie and Fritchie, Stark and Fritchie. Comes back to Brady Fritchie. He works around, shot taken. And it's put in by number 4, Mason Fritchie. He gets his first of the season off of the set face-off. Number 4, Mason Fritchie puts it home. 25 seconds to go in the first period to make it a 3-1 game. And the Pens are looking for more as Nico Stark tries to move it ahead. It's worked around him, though, to number 9, Brady Fritchie. Takes it behind Thompson. '91's going to walk out, sticked away there by number 9, Brady Fritchie. Good stick there to keep that shot from getting off. We're at 2 seconds to go in the period, and that's going to do it. First period. At the end of the one is the Pittsburgh Penguins Elite 3 and the Oakland Junior Grizzlies 1. Play back underway here as Connor Wilson brings it in early in the second period. He works around everybody. Connor Wilson, he finds the net over the left shoulder of 34. Second goal of the game for number 8. Connor Wilson cashes in 4-1 the score. Fourth goal of the season for number 8. As the Pens get set up here, ensuing faceoff, 14:51 to go, 9 seconds before Wilson cashes in early in the second period frame. Brooks Gaworski backhands it through the slot as number 13 is going to bring this around. As he's going to try to bring this around Welch and Loya. As it's going to be stick behind the net by Welch. Loya takes his man out, and it comes here to the near wall. Point man number 4 tries to get this through. It finds the stick of Brooks Gaworski. He lifts his man's stick, but he's tied up. As it comes off the backhand of Welch, he loses the puck. As it works to number 59 now. Comes back to the point man number 4 off the backside of Connor Wilson. Shot again. Welch is going to stick this to the wall. As number 4 has it in the neutral zone. As it's going to squirt over to Grant Loya. Davis now possesses it. He goes off the backhand of Welch. Welch is going to swing this up off the wall up to Connor Wilson. Wilson chips this further along. As Davis is now going to apply some pressure. Picking this up as Paris looks for a pass for Davis. 4-1 the score. Early stages of the second period. Comes to the point man. That's CJ Nenavisa. Works it down to number 88. As it goes around the stick of Brady Fritchie. Fritchie retreats to get to this puck. Chips it up over the stick of Paris. Going to roll a tip here. No icing here as Deroni, number 4, has his pocket picked by 93. Riker Ferguson. Brady Fritchie's going to move down from his defensive position. Throws it behind the net to Davis. Davis now has it. He stops up as he gets it picked up now by by Blake Paris. Moves it to Wilson. He shoots and scores. His 3rd of the game. Connor Wilson gets the HT to make it 5-1. Wilson's 5th goal of the year, 3rd of the game. With 12:27 to go in the second period, the Pens have a 14-5 shots advantage. As LC for the Grizzlies is going to step in to take this draw against Connor Wilson. As Mason Fritchie's going to have this puck. He's going to move it back to Nico Stark. Stark's going to work this up the wall as it comes to number 9. As he tries to work around Stark. It's going to be thrown up the boards all the way to the point man as it's forced out of the zone by Bingham Green working hard. As Welch is going to apply some pressure on his man, number 66. Behind the net is picked up by Nico Stark. He finds Wilson. Transition is on here. It goes off the left skate of Bingham Green. It's turned over in the neutral zone as 91's now going to try and work it around Stark. Stark with a good stick. Stops his man up. Loses a stick. As Stark's going to still clog things up as Mason Fritchie tries to work it along. It hits that errant stick that was on the ice. Welch is going to come over. He stabs at it. As it's going to be brought back through center. And all the way back down. Wholesale changes. As Easton Borman now brings it in. Still has this puck. Borman's looking for an option. Nice little move by Easton Borman. Swings it in front of Ferguson off of his blade. Gaworski unable to find that deflected puck as 66 going to try Loya. Loya clogs up his man 66. Comes away with the puck. As he's turned, he's going to skate through the neutral zone now. As he finds number 93, that's Riker Ferguson. Loses control is 93 for the Grizzlies. Brings it back to center. They're going to try and work it around Loya. Loya goes D to D to Nenavisa. Nenavisa up to Gaworski. Gaworski up to Borman. Back to Gaworski just ahead of him, though. As Nenavisa has Davis ahead of the play. He's going to go to Davis. And it's going to be deflected into the Pens offensive zone. 9:55 to go in the second period. Now 17 looks for a teammate. Intercepted, though, by Connor Wilson. As Brady Fritchie collects the puck. Long shot taken. Just over the right side of the net. As 44 is going to throw it behind. Pinching down here as Brady Fritchie gets to that puck first. Blake Paris strongly comes off the wall here. Had Colt Davis there in front. Tried to tuck in that rebound. Unable to do so as Wilson's going to apply some pressure here on the back check. As Nico Stark goes back for this puck. .906 to go and counting in the second period. Brady Fritchie moves it up to Blake Paris. Blake Paris is able to create a turnover as the Pens are changing behind the play. Grizzlies are going to come out with possession. As Grant Loya gets to this puck. Loya headmans the pass. Headman pass up to Blake Paris. Ferguson and Parrish run into each other. Parrish is going to go to the bench for a change. Colt Davis able to create a turnover. He has it behind the net. Goes to Riker Ferguson in front. Rebound opportunity for Colt Davis. Left pad saved by the Grizzlies. Davis runs into his man. Davis still on his skates. As they're going to move it now to Mason Fritchie. He's going to get to this puck. Throws it back to the point man. That's Welch. Welch is going to dump this to Riker Ferguson. Ferguson dumps it right back behind the net to Mason Fritchie. Fritchie's looking for an option. As the Grizzlies are going to try and punch this out of the zone now. But freshly on the ice, Bingham Green's going to possess this puck. Goes right back to Mason Fritchie. Fritchie's going to leave it for Bingham Green. And Bingham Green comes out of the fray. Looking for an option. He's going to throw this back up to the point man. That is hustling over. CJ Navisa unable to corral that puck. It's going to be dumped back into the Pens D zone. Back for this puck is number 9, Brady Fritchie. Throws it up to Bingham Green. As Green throws it to Wilson. Wilson's going to curl around here, and he's tripped up. Penalty coming up as Bingham Green tries to get a shot away, but it's possessed by Grizzlies number 4, and the Pens are going to go right back to the power play. 7:02 to go in the second period. Power play coming up. 5-1 the score. Number 12 heads to the box for a trip. Wilson was hauled down there by the Grizzly player. And the Pens getting set here. Offensive zone face-off. Riker Ferguson talking things over with Brooks Gaworski. He's going to also be flanked by Easton Borman. Stark and Welch also on. Borman hustles over to get to this puck. It's on the backhand of Welch. Welch is going to swing this down to Ferguson. Ferguson gets to this puck first. Goes to Borman. Borman's looking for some real estate. He's going to swing it over to Nico Stark now. Nico Stark takes a long shot in the crease, still sitting there, loose. Finally covered there by netminder number 34. Riker Ferguson steps in for the faceoff. Same personnel grouping, 1:07 to go on the penalty goal. It's going to be chipped around Stark. It's going to be rolled as it stayed into the zone. Gaworski fans on the shot attempt. And it's going to be thrown all the way down the ice for an icing call. 48 seconds to go on the power play. Pens are going to change up their power play unit. As hopping over, should say off the bench, Connor Wilson, Colt Davis, Blake Paris, CJ Nenavisa, and Grant Loya. Davis tried to work it back to Nenavisa, though. Goes back into the neutral zone. As 91 takes a sneaky shot, Thompson had to be alert there as it got through everybody. Right pad save. .34 to go on the penalty to the Grizzlies, number 12. 5-1 is the score. Loy's going to work it to his D partner. That's 77, Nenavisa. Nenavisa gets his up, and he's going to skate this to the neutral zone. Goes back to his D partner. That's Loya. Loya throws it ahead to Wilson. Pens have 19 to go on the power play. Wilson takes it behind the net now. Controls the puck. Looking for an option. Looks. Surveys the scene. He's tripped again. Nothing called, though. Creates a breakaway off the blocker of Luka Thompson. Big save by 33. As back on the ice is number 12. Back to 5-on-5 action. Squirts over to the stick of number 43, right-handed defenseman Grant Loya for the Pens Elite team. Comes in 1-on-2 shot off of the left skate guard of the left shin guard of 17. Smartly covered by 34. As 5:12 remains in the second period, another offensive zone faceoff coming up. 93. Ferguson steps in with Green and number 4, Mason Fritchie on the backside. Brady Fritchie and Nico Stark. As on the half wall, Ferguson gets a stick on this to send it further back into the offensive zone. Green applies pressure, joined by Ferguson. Ferguson's hauled down. Green now has it behind the net. Looking for options. He's looking. It's going to squirt free to the half wall. Brady Fritchie, he pinches down. Has it behind the net now. As he's looking for an option, his brother's calling for the puck. It goes back to the point man. That's Nico Stark. Long shot. Off the equipment of 66. Backhands this back to center here as the Grizzlies try to get something going, but it's intercepted by Brady Fritchie. Fritchie throws it up to his brother, number 4, Mason Fritchie. He delays pass attempt to Bingham Green. As Green now has it behind the net. Throws it to Fritchie, unable to get good wood on that. It's going to go all the way down the ice to Luka Thompson. He's going to swing it over to Welch. Correction, over to Loya. And thrown back to center to number 4. Picked off by the Pens, number 4, Mason Fritchie. He curls around everybody. Throws it in on net. It looks like it's in the net right now. But the officials are going to say that it did not cross the goal line. So with 3:28 remaining in the second period, the score remains your Pens Elite 5 and the Oakland Junior Grizzlies 1. 19-8 the shot totals. Riker Ferguson steps in on the draw, flanked by Gaworski and Borman on the backside. Nenavisa and Brady Fritchie. Borman's able to get to this puck, pushes it further into the Pens offensive zone. As hustling over to this puck is number 9 for the Junior Grizzlies. He's going to try Nenavisa and Brady Fritchie. Goes through everybody, shot wide of the net, though. Punch back to center by a couple of Penguins to flex into the bench area. And we're going to have another face-off at center red. That's going to be won by the Junior Grizzlies, but Penn's able to turn this puck over as it goes right into the Penguins bench again. Another neutral zone face-off. Number 9, Matera swings it back to Haluski. As Easton Borman now picks it up. He's got Gaworski in front. Deflects in, almost in, past the netminder 34, who had to be strong there. Good pass by Borman. Good stick by Gaworski. Just a good save by number 34. It goes back to the point man. That's CJ Nenavisa. Nenavisa walks down the wall calmly. Borman tries to get this through. Everybody does come to the stick of Wilson. as Borman keeps it in the zone temporarily. And back to get this puck is number 77, left-handed defenseman, CJ Nenavisa. Nenavisa throws it all the way up the ice to Borman. As number 13 sends this further along. And it comes back to 17, the left-handed defenseman for the Junior Grizzlies. Headmans the puck up to number 13. Tries to work around Nico Stark. Unable to do so as he's back-checked by number 8, Connor Wilson. Long shot wide of the net. Comes all the way across to Cole Davis. Davis tries to headman this up to Paris. Goes off the back of the helmet of a player. As Welch now gets to this puck. As Blake Paris skates back through center. Off the left arm of Ferguson as he's trying to work this back into the offensive zone. Sticked off by Welch. Still in the offensive zone, though, of the Junior Grizzlies until Blake Paris able to create some offense. Welch goes to pressure his man, number 66, who backhands it through everybody. Long shot taken. Big pad save there by Luka Thompson behind the net, possessed by number 7, Nico Stark. Headbands it up to Blake Paris. Paris to Green, still in the crease, still loose in the crease. Off the right shin pad of Connor Wilson now. Shot off the wall. Be alert. Gotta be alert. This time I'm sure. As we are done with 2 here at UPMC Lemieux, 21-9 the shot total, but more importantly, 5-1 the score on the board, 15 minutes on the clock for the third period. This was the final score of the first contest earlier today when the Pens were victorious 5-1 in their first game of the season. And they have a 5 spot up on the board once again. With the third period set to begin in just a few moments. Okay, third period set to get started here. 15 minutes on the clock, 5-1 the score. Connor Wilson steps in for the faceoff. He's on with Mason Fritchie, Bingham Green, CJ Nenavisa, and number 43, Grant Loya. As number 91 is going to bring this in. Shot taken to the left, correction, right side of the net. Work back to center. Red, Mason Fritchie throws it to Wilson. Wilson, strong power move, comes in on net. Off the left pad of number 34, thrown back to the point man. That's Grant Loya. Loya back to Wilson. As Mason Fritchie now has it. He makes a nice little move around a man. Tries to tuck it in on the near post. Mason Fritchie still looking for an option as it comes to Connor Wilson. Back to center red comes number 66 for the junior Grizzlies. He's going to be contested and stripped of the puck by 43 Grant Loya, who curls around the net. He stops up, reverses directions, nicely outlets it to Bingham Green. Bingham Green moves it to Connor Wilson, who looked like he was going to the bench for a change, and now he will. As the junior Grizzlies try to work it back to center red, they do. Brady Paris steps up, though. Correction, Brady Fritchie. .37 to go and counting in the third period. 5-1 the score. Game number 2 of the season and game number 2 of these two guys. Nice little pass there out to Brooks Gaworski by Riker Ferguson. But 34 flashes the leather and the pad out there to shut that down. As Brady Fritchie steps up once again. Shot taken, goes behind the net, deflected wide and thrown up here, up the half wall and out of the zone. As Riker Ferguson tries to get this back into the Pens offensive zone. But retreating back to Skaworski. Gaworski throws this over to number 9, Brady Fritchie, up to Borman. Trying to catch the Grizzlies in a change. As number 88 curls around everybody, a couple of Penguins run into each other, still loose high in the slot. Brady Fritchie's going to step up. He's going to lead this rush here late in the shift, and he's going to go to the bench for a change as Connor Wilson backhands it through the low slot. Colt Davis comes over to try and get to this puck. Squirts free to Grant Loya. Loya throws it right back down, but picked off there by the junior Grizzlies. Number 89 is going to swing this wide to 88. He's going to try Welch. Welch gets a stick on it. It's thrown behind the net once again. Welch comes over. 89 now has it. And it comes back to the neutral zone. As Welch is going to throw this up to Blake Paris. As 89 is able to, 59 is able to work this around, but picked off there nicely by Riker Ferguson. As it's thrown right back into the Pens D zone, Brady Fritchie's going back for this puck. Squirts behind the net where Welch now picks this up. He's going to throw it to Mason Fritchie. Back behind the net now goes Welch. Gets this puck back, hands it up to Bingham Green. Riker Ferguson gets to it. As hopping on now is CJ Nenavisa as the puck comes back to number 9, Brady Fritchie. 10:48 to go in the third period. 5-1 the score. Bingham Green works this down to Connor Wilson with a pretty feed over to Mason Fritchie for the tap-in. Beautiful puck movement there, and it works its way into the back of the net. Mason Fritchie, his second goal of the game. Dazzling play there by the Penguin forward group. As Easton Borman brings it back into the offensive zone. All right, Easton Borman controls this puck nicely. Squirts over to the wall where Gaworski's trying to get to this puck. Gaworski controls it, works it behind a couple of guys. Welch is going to go to the bench. Coming on now is Loya. And Nenavisa. Gaworski controls, curl move, backhands over the right pad of 34. Thrown here to the near wall. Loya pinches down, is able to contest this puck. As he's shoved against the wall here, it squirts back to neutral and picked up by Nenevisa. Penn's able to change a couple of guys. One of those is Colt Davis. As Davis now has it in the offensive zone, he walks in, shot taken, deflects off of a shin pad, but it finds the stick of Grant Loy, is able to keep it in the zone. 9:16 to go in the third period. 6-1 the score, 25-9 the shot totals. As big power move there by Blake Paris. Unable to cash home. He gets this for a one-timer, and Blake Paris, cha-ching, rings it up for the 7th goal of the game off the one-time feed. Blake Paris, number 25 on the Pens' 27th shot of the game, makes it a 7-1 game. Here for your 2015 Pittsburgh Penguins Elite Boys. Blake Paris, first of the game, first of the year for the winger number 25. Blake Paris, he wants some more. He's bringing it into the offensive zone. Good for Blake to be rewarded there. He had a strong power move earlier in the game. It was a pretty feed off of a pass from number 8, Connor Wilson. As Nico Stark throws this back into the neutral zone. Another neutral zone face-off coming up. It's going to be at center red. As Ferguson steps in for the face-off. Going to be 9 junior Grizzlies. Stark over to contest. As Bingham Green moves it ahead to Mason Fritchie. He comes down the left wall. 8:13 to go in the third. Now on the stick of number 9, Brady Fritchie. He still has this puck. Shot taken off of Mason Fritchie. He's looking for the hat trick. Can't get that shot through, though, as we are under 8 minutes to play in game number 2 and period number 3 of the 25-26 season. Moved back by Bingham Green to Nico Stark. Stark up to Fritchie. As the Pens change some of their personnel grouping, Wilson, Welch, and Loya now hop on. As Connor Wilson has this puck knocked off of his stick. Loya is looking for offense here. Grant Loya cashes in on a long shot just outside the reach of the goaltender number 34's right pad. It finds the back of the net, and we have an 8th spot here as the Pens get their 8th goal of the game by number 43, Grant Loya. To make it an 8-1 lead over the Oakland Junior Grizzlies on opening day of the 25-26 Squirt Major season. Welch now contests his man. It's taken behind the net by 91. Picked up by Connor Wilson. Borman now has it. He's looking for an option. Goes to Gaworski. As it puck's bouncing around, Borman now finds that male. He's on his stomach, able to force that forward. Puck bouncing everywhere here in the Pens offensive zone. Bodies are falling everywhere. It's still loose. Found by Ferguson. As Welch now steps up. And forces his forward. 98 takes the legs out of Brooks Gaworski. As Borman tries to sneak one behind the right pad of 34, nothing doing as we approach the 6-minute mark here in period number 3. 8-1 the score. It's going to work its way all the way down into the Penguin zone for an icing call. So we're going to have an offensive zone faceoff coming up. 5:56 to go. Third period action here. As Wilson steps in for the draw, wins this over to his winger. Colt Davis falls down, though. And number 89 stops up, leaves it for 13. 13 goes back to the point man. Picked off, though, by Connor Wilson. Wilson's going to go 1-on-2. He's got Paris going with him. As Wilson is tripped up, as it's thrown high in the zone to the stick of Noah Welch. Welch is going to try and work this around a guy. Tries to get it to Paris. And it finds the stick blade of Riker Ferguson. Ferguson applies some pressure here. It comes to Blake Paris. Paris is going to bring it right down the half wall. Picked off, though, as 88's going to try. Stark and Welch going to try and split them. Welch is going to try and go with them. And it's going to be covered up by Luka Thompson. As back to the neutral zone it comes, and Bingham Green tries to get on that puck. But there's an offsides call here. Neutral zone faceoff coming up. 4:23 now to go in the third period. 8-1 the score. 30-10 the shots on goal total appearing on the scoreboard right now. As 19, Bingham Green walks in. Long shot taken. Covered up by netminder number 34. Ferguson stepped in for that draw. It's going to work its way all the way back out of the zone as it's chipped behind. Then a Weiss 91 comes in. Shot wide of the net, though. Lane loses his puck to number 93, Riker Ferguson. And up now to number 4, Mason Fritchie. Fritchie tries to win this puck back. As possessing it now is number 4, Mason Fritchie. Throws it behind to Gaworski. Gaworski tried to find the point man. Has his pocket picked by number 8, Connor Wilson. Wilson's looking for more. As Fritchie steps down the wall, works it right back to number 8, Connor Wilson. Wilson sends this high in the zone. Nico Stark, long shot off the right shoulder of netminder number 34. As Borman has his legs taken out here late in the game. 3 minutes to go. And another offensive zone faceoff coming up. Wilson steps in. Long shot taken as it comes up the half wall and back to center. Picked up again. Good back check there. Good work by Connor Wilson to retrieve this puck. Works it back to his D-man, Nico Stark. Stark back up to Borman. But the Grizzlies are able to work this back to the neutral zone. 88 tries to connect with number 89. It goes over the stick of Brady Fritchie. Fritchie's going to throw this up to Gaworski. And over to number 88. As we have penalty call coming up against Easton Borman. And the Pens are going to be shorthanded for the first time in this game. They got caught shorthanded several times in game number 1. And this is their first of game number 2. 2:17 to go in the third period. 8-1 the score. Minute 30 penalty goes up on the board to Easton Borman. Number 4, long shot taken. Right pad save there by Luka Thompson. Grant Loya picks up the puck. Works it back to Blake Harris. Harris, nice little curl move. He works around. Blake Harris tucks it over the right shoulder of netminder number 34 for the shorthanded goal for your Pens Elite Boys. The SHG for PPE. Blake Harris' second of the game. Puts the 9th up on the board. Here with 1:51 now to go in the game. 1:04 on the penalty call to Easton Borman. As number 91 is going to try and work this around. Welch, he sticks it off of his man. Blake Harris with the shorthanded goal. As the Pens put up the 9 spot now. As it's going to be worked back into the Pens offensive zone. Going back for this puck is Welch. As he's going in against 91. It's an icing call, though. And the Pens are going to bring it all the way down back into the offensive zone. Offensive zone face-off. Short-handed, though, are the PPE boys. As Mason Fritchie gets a shorthanded chance there. Left pad save, shot number 36 or 37. As Mason Fritchie is going to bring this forward now. And back into the defensive zone comes 66. Long shot off the pipe to the right of netminder Thompson. So the score remains 9-1 here in game number 2 between the Grizzlies and the 15 Pens Elite Boys. As LC is going to work this into the high slot, unable to get that shot through. As now Device is going to apply some pressure here on 89. He forces his man to the wall. Over to help out is Borman. He takes a stick to the back. He's taking a cross check to the back of the head now. Now to the lower back. As Mason Fritchie's going to walk out. Do the Pens have one more goal in them here? They're looking for more. Mason Fritchie comes down. Long slap shot taken. Goes wide of the net. And there's 1 second to go. And that looks like the Pens are going to go to 2-0 on the campaign. As Luka Thompson gets his first win in black and gold. As the Pens are victorious here, 9-1 is the final. for game number 2 of the season. 36-11 the shots on goal. The Pens are lining up here for some handshakes. And they'll be back in action early tomorrow morning for game number 3 against the familiar Oakland Junior Grizzlies. And you can tune in on Cine TV tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. for game number 3. But that's a final here from UPMC Lemieux Sports Complex. The final score, Pittsburgh Penguins Elite 9 and the Oakland Junior Grizzlies 1.